Hello, welcome to the Group Therapy Podcast. Today we have Paul Taylor, the man who was able to pick up the role of Pinhead and make it his own.
Yeah.
That's got to be hard.
Well, it was mixed, It was mixed, If by hard you mean pleasing the fans, because
yeah.
the original.
Yeah.
That was tough. That was something I just had to sort of get over, though. And going into the role, I knew that I did have to honor what came before me. Wow, isn't it nice that he's on his microphone?
Yeah, it never fails. Yeah.
But anyway, so that was a challenge up here.
Yeah.
But once I decided that this is a script, this is a role, I'm going to do it as much my way as I can, knowing that I had to honor what came before. If I had more freedom to not even care about what came before, that would have been, I could have created something that was more me. Was more original. But I didn't really have that freedom. But it was all a blessing. It was just a blessing, because Pinhead has always been my favorite 80s horror icon from 1987, when the first movie came out. So to get to play him, to get the text from my friend who I'd known for many, many years saying, "Congratulations on your instant cult status," it was like, it was really very cool.
Well, and you have the I mean, I talked with Gary, and you have the head shape and everything to do a really good Pinhead. Yep.
Excuse me. God, cucumbers. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think a big reason I got the part, besides giving a fabulous audition, was that he knew I would look good in the makeup and I love that noise. You love that noise as much as I do? I think they're done.
Yep, maybe. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, waka waka waka. I forgot what I was saying.
Getting into the role, being able to the makeup of Pinhead, the body and the shape and
yes, I think that he knew I would look a lot like Doug Bradley in the makeup as well.
Yeah.
Because they weren't exactly making it a big public announcement that we're doing a new Hellraiser and it's not Doug Bradley.
Yeah.
That just sort of
steer around that.
And like the fans are like, it's gonna suck because it's not Doug Bradley. There's some pressure. No pressure.
You had Doug Bradley, you had the other guy, and then you.
I did have the other guy.
Yes. So you had him to kind of be a speed bump, I guess.
I am not going to comment on that. It's not for me to say.
Yeah. But you pulled it off. You did a good job at it, and you made it your own.
Thank you. It's like it was such a gift. It's just a freaking gift. I got to play a Hollywood monster. Yeah. And as a kid growing up, Halloween was the best thing in the world. I loved the Dark Shadows, the Monsters, Trilogy of Terror, all of it. Everything that I saw earlier, Jaws, The Exorcist, all of it when I was a kid. It's like, all I want is to be a monster. And I got to be that monster.
You got to be the monster you wanted to be.
Oh my God.
And other roles that you've done, what is Pinhead been the one that really stood out for you? Is that because you're now...
Yeah, I mean, for obvious reasons, it's the biggest... Yeah. The biggest, he played Pinhead. There have been other roles I've played since then in film that have been larger roles, actually, as far as the story of the movie goes, like starring roles that I'm so excited about that haven't come out yet, that I just shot within the last year. And it's nice that that's happening now for me. And I'm forming relationships with more and more filmmakers that they require an audition, but they mostly are just like, hey, I got this role you'd be great for, and read the script and tell me what you think. That's music to an actor's ears, rather than just like your agent going, here's an audition, go tape it.
Yeah.
And how many other people are taping for this? It's a tough business.
Well, you're in Sin City.
I know. It's my first movie.
Yeah, that's amazing. And how was that work? Because that's all green screen.
Yeah, it was really weird. And I'd never been in that big of a movie before. really never done a real movie before. I'd only done some independent stuff in New York that was really crappy, but that I don't speak of because I don't remember the name of it. Do I? I really don't. I'm not even going to try to remember it. Anyway, because then I'll get distracted and I'll forget what I was saying again. So, which I just did. No, green screen.
Green screen.
I walked into this studio that Robert Rodriguez has built, Troublemaker Studios down in Austin, because he does things his way.
Yep.
You know these things.
Oh yeah.
And it's green. It's all green screen, and all these little worker bees running around doing their thing because it's a movie studio. I'm like, wow, this is just amazing. But it's kind of funny. I just think that when I auditioned for the role, my agent was like, "Hey, you want to go down to Austin and audition for a Robert Rodriguez film?" And all I knew was Dark to Daylight. What's the vampire movie?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Dusk to Dawn, which I love so much. And I'm like, of course I do. So I went down there, and I think that I auditioned for the casting director, but I didn't meet him yet. But then I came back for a call back, and I met him. I don't know. I have no reason to think this, but I just think. And I say this because I think it's amusing as well, but I just say, I think he probably met me, and this also relates to the kind of roles I've played since then. I think he met me and was like, yeah, I'd like to beat this guy up. I think there are many Pinhead fans, Doug Bradley fans who'd like to beat me up too. For the same reason. I mean, I'm like this kind of a privileged white male type. That's what I am, you know. And I've had a lot of assholes in my, like middle management or higher, like lawyers and stuff like that, and people you just want to hurt because they got this power. It's like, and they're dicks about it. But I love playing roles like that
because you can. It's almost being parody because you can make fun of those guys.
I make fun of them by playing them.
Yes, exactly.
Because I hate those people. But, people don't know that. No. They think I'm one of them. I'm like, wow, that's the way it goes. It's acting.
You're like, I've been typecast as that asshole white guy.
I'm such a childlike nerd, you wouldn't even, I'm a clown. But,
Oh my God! See, I would never even be able to be on a set with Robert Rodriguez because that'd be the one. There's like a handful of people that'd be like,
kind of blew my mind. And he was the coolest because I come in and he's just sitting on his director's chair with his guitar. They usher me to over where he is with the monitors, and he's like, "Come here, I want to show you something." And he's just like, "Do see this thing? You come in, you're gonna like do this and la 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 la." Like, the coolest individual I've ever met in my life, and he does it his way.
Yeah,
I mean, he quit the Directors Guild because he wanted Frank Miller to be a co-director, and they wouldn't let him because he wasn't in the Directors Guild. It's like, I'll do it my way.
Yeah, and
that's called integrity.
Yeah, when you do it your way, you want to do it your way. You treat people the way you want to treat them. Yeah. And it's all about.
It's like, fuck that.
Yeah.
And life's too short.
Oh, definitely.
Follow the rules.
What's some of the roles
you
got?
I thought you were.
Before we what's some projects you got on the horizons?
The most exciting one to me is called. Well, actually, I can't say that. There are two of them, actually. Three.
And you can't get the names for any of them.
No, I can. I can talk about all of them in no particular order. The largest role that I have played in my life is in a movie called Neon Cactus, and the role was written for me, and it was super low budget. It doesn't matter because it was a micro crew, but it's character-driven script, and I got to play this fantastic character, Stanley Cooper, who owns a key shop, and he's a Yankee living in Texas, and he's like a fish out of water. Has these huge glasses that eye distorting lenses. Like I had to wear contact lenses with them so that I could see, but I still ran into things. So we just made it part of Stanley's character that he was a klutz. Because the first day I saw her wear the glasses, I was like, I'm gonna be sick. but it worked. But then he gets involved with the wrong people, and it's kind of a noir thing. Mm-hmm. It's crime. It's basically crime drama with a little bit of comedy because it's just inherently funny, the situation and the way Stanley handles things. But so he gets involved with this crime, sort of a crime boss who runs the Neon Cactus, and then he gets involved with there's guns and money and murder and kill my wife, you kill my husband, don't do that, I changed my mind, blah blah blah. I'm still gonna kill your wife. Oh no. But by the end of the movie, Stanley has to toughen up and become sort of gangster himself, and that was so much fun to play that. And just at the end of the movie, I just was like walking down the hallway that's like lit in neon, and just I put on and I'm taking care of business. It was just so cool to get to do that. To go from unsuspecting Stanley, we don't know, he's kind of dweeb, we don't know what's going on, to by the end of the movie, he's just like
being the badass.
So I'm really excited about that one. It's called Neon Cactus. It will come out soon. We just got distribution. It's going to be on like all the streaming platforms. And if you follow me on IMDb or my Instagram, which is the real Paul T. Taylor, but IMDb, Internet Movie Database, that's where it lists all of them. I'm also going to be in a sequel to the Friday the 13th fan film Vengeance, and this one's called Vengeance, Bloodlines Vengeance 2. C.J. Graham is in it again, and Jason Brooks plays Jason, and he's a great guy. I met him at a convention several years ago in Kansas, of all places, and we hit it off. She said, "You want to come up to Seattle to shoot this film?" And I'm like in the opening sequence, I'm in the search and rescue team, the lead in the search and rescue team. We did a little Pinhead puzzle book. Maybe there's an Easter egg in there, which is kind of fun. But so that's going to be coming out very soon. Like they're selling tickets to the premiere right now. I don't know where. I think it's in Seattle, but it will eventually be, online and stuff.
Yep.
And then there's I'm going to this in October or November. It's the premiere of Butcher's Bluff, which is an 80s slasher sort of tribute film with a kid who was bullied. He was bullied as a kid. Now he's an adult. He was heavy, and so people made fun of him. He was different. So now he's got his homemade hawk mask and overalls and hatchet. And I play the Texas sheriff who knows the secrets, but he's not the good guy. He's like, you don't go out in them woods, nothing out there but death. And so you kids are making it documentary, you're idiots. So anyway, but I'm set up with a sequel for that. So nice. And then one more. It's called Andromeda. It's a sci-fi. I don't know where it's playing, but I know I've seen it at a private screening. And at the private screening, they told us that the company wants a sequel, so that's good. But it's a sci-fi where I play a brilliant scientist, and that's really different for me. And the sci-fi thing is different. It's my first sci-fi movie ever.
Cool.
Unless you call Hellraiser sci-fi, which it kind of is. But it's nice, and there's a lot of CGI in this because it's alien. There's an alien, and there's spaceships and stuff. But I'm the brilliant man who created all this stuff and the weapons and stuff. So that pretty cool. I don't get to play people like that, but I love sci-fi. So that's called Andromeda. So got a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's some stuff in the future too that I don't talk about because who knows until they actually until you've signed a contract.
Yes.
Until you're on the set actually. It's
I was talking to Gary. He's like, you don't know, you're way into pre-production. And the next thing you know, they're like, nope, it's not gonna happen.
Nope.
We got the cast.
Meanwhile, I just audition and get 5% of what I audition for, just like most actors.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's just a life of rejection. And if you're lucky, you get to play Pinhead.
Yeah, at least once in your life. Any other horror icons you'd like to maybe work with, or besides, you're being with Jason in the fan film?
I would love to work with oh hell, I can't remember his name. He's a director, and he directed The Hallow. I'm just Corin Hardy.
Yeah.
I think Corin Hardy's freaking brilliant. And when I saw The Hallow and those puppets that he's been working on since he was a kid, and read his story of how much he's into it and how much he loves it, I said, the man is brilliant. And he directed one of the Annabelle films too. I'm not sure which one. I never remember right now. I think one of the Witch. Anyway, sorry, I'm spacing on that. Corin Hardy, I would love to work with Doug Bradley, and when they do the Scarlet Gospels.
Yeah.
Doug can play Pinhead. Okay, that's fine. That's fun. Like I'm giving my permission. And I can play like some other demon.
Yeah, there's
a lot of demons in that.
Story.
I wanted to play the derelict. I wanted to play the derelict, David Bruckner. I wanted to play the derelict in your new Hellraiser. They didn't call me. It would have made sense. I was homeless at the end of Hellraiser Judgment. Perfect. Now I'm a derelict, and I'm going to eat the crickets off of my hand.
There you
Locusts, whatever they were.
Yeah,
Robert Englund comes to mind, but that's only really because I'd like to play Freddy. But you know how many people would kill me if I even tried?
Yeah, because we all know, Jackie Earle Haley's a
we
great
know
actor.
how well that went. He's a brilliant actor.
But
Academy Award nominated actor.
Yeah.
And he's brilliant.
But he is not Freddy Krueger.
It was a different script. It was the script.
Yeah.
That was not the Freddy Krueger that we're accustomed to.
No. And then, what was it? They said Kevin Bacon got Robert Englund's praise to play Freddy Krueger if they ever do another Freddy Krueger movie.
Kevin Bacon would be great.
Yeah. I was like,
he's got that sense of humor.
At first I was
like, the darkness. He'd be great.
Yeah.
And he's a big star.
Yes, he's a big star.
Makes a difference with Freddy Krueger.
Yeah,
they're not going to call me. But also, I want to be in the sequel to Trick or Treat because I love that little movie.
Oh my gosh,
I love those kids in the school bus, those little zombie kids. Oh my god. And Rhonda, and just
the fact that we haven't got a sequel to that is almost it's neglectful.
I understand.
It's neglectful.
It's 4 independent stories. All you need to bring back Sam and Rhonda, and that's all.
Yeah,
nobody else. All new stories. I'm sure someone's working on that.
Well, he's supposedly, because evidently there was supposed to be a scene in the Krampus, because that's all the same universe with Krampus and Sam and Krampus. Yeah. And I don't know whatever happened to it. Yeah, because if you go watch the deleted scenes Krampus, when the kid dumps out his Halloween candy because they're all trying to find stuff to eat, the sucker.
That's perfect. What a great Easter egg.
Yeah, it's in there.
I will watch that. I have it on Blu-ray because my friend Allison Tolman is in that. I worked with her doing theater in Dallas before she moved to Chicago, and then got in Fargo and got Emmy nominated for Fargo, and then she did the movie Krampus.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch this special.
Go look at the deleted scenes. You'll find that little scene. But no, there was supposed to be a scene where there's the Krampus and Sam were supposed to be like acknowledging each other and kind of going.
Sam needs to be in every Halloween movie,
just as an Easter egg, and just always be there in the
or
periphery.
Just the sucker, or the chocolate,
the chocolate razor bar. Yeah.
So I'm sure there are many others I'd like to work with, but right now I probably need to get back to the table.
I'll let you get back to your table, sir. Thank you so very much.
Wow, it's like a line of none. I've seen a lot of people walk by and stop.
Yep. Can you tell people to watch Group Therapy Podcast?
To watch what?
To watch the Group Therapy Podcast?
I'm doing the Group Therapy Podcast? No.
I'm out of here.
Listen, I put on my glasses so I can be very serious with you. Watch the Group Therapy Podcast, because this is Paul T. Taylor, and I played Pinhead once, and so you should listen to me.
Definitely. Thank you, sir. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. Yep. This was fun.
Yeah.
Evil seeks evil.
What is going on here?
Let's just dive in, shall we?
What we're investigating is very dark.
Just curious. What do you see?
You think you're too close to this case?
Jesus Christ.
It's him.
What on earth is this place? It isn't. There's hell to pay.
Hello, welcome to today's episode of the Group Therapy Podcast. Today we have the American Werewolf in London himself, David Naughton. Oh man, it's been cool. You're right across from us today at the show. It's fun. I know you hear it 1,000 million times, but I love the American Werewolf in London. I probably watched it when I was way too young to be watching it.
Yeah, I find that at the shows, a lot of the parents bring their kids, and the kids are so young and haven't seen this movie. Yeah, and I go, there was a rating back in the day.
Yeah, I'm worst part about it is I know my kids watched it, but I wasn't one of the ones that they probably went and watched it later by themselves. But that is an iconic role. It has been 40 plus years, and
it's 41.
41. And how does it feel to be connected to that for
Well, yeah, I had no idea that I had a whole career ahead of me in terms of doing personal appearances for this film. We knew at the time that it was kind of special. I mean, John Landis had a heck of a track record with his successful films, and so we knew we were in good company, but we had no idea that it would be received in a way that initially it wasn't like a runaway hit.
Yeah, no, it was
just sort of a slow-growing, appreciated movie over the years.
Yeah, and that happens a lot with a lot of the 80s horror, man. That first initial wave isn't the big one, and then that second wave just...
Yeah, it just seems to build. I think it's, word of mouth was a big, advantage for this film. Hey, Rachel. Let me just say, hi, I'll be there in a minute.
Yep. I know it's bad. We're sitting here talking about, somebody goes, well, he's the Dr. Pepper guy.
Yeah, that was quite a, one of those things that I can remember. I was working in a restaurant, of course, as many actors do starting out. And I got a chance to go to an audition. When I went to it, I went, what am I doing here? There were all these guys in New York, professional dancers, auditioning for this thing. And there were probably 400 guys there over the first couple of days of auditioning. So I just went for the laugh, and lo and behold, got a call back, and one thing led to another, and found myself booked on these commercials, which initially were three commercials and a 22-day shoot, if you can imagine.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was like making a film, for what was 2 minutes of it.
Yeah.
So that started a whole another section of my life where I got to quit my job in the restaurant and become an actor full time.
Did you when you first did American Werewolf in London? Did you think you were like, I'm gonna be a horror movie guy?
Well, no, I was really drawn to it because of the role itself, which I thought was a well-written script and had an interesting part. And I always looked at the character as not something supernatural, but more or less just a guy with a problem, and something that was inescapable, and playing it for that in as real a way as I could. Now, when it came time to the makeup, I mean, who knew what that was going to be like? And I had no idea what a genius Rick Baker was going to be. And he went on to receive his first Oscar.
Yeah, he hadn't become Rick Baker yet.
No, that's right.
He was just Rick Baker.
Yeah,
Rick Baker.
His little card said Rick Baker, Monster Maker.
Yep.
And he was.
And it probably didn't hurt that you had a very beautiful co-star.
Yes, Griffin Dunn is really something else. Oh, you mean Jenny? Yeah, Jenny Agutter was and is a terrific actress, and she was a real good sport to be on board with all these guys who were hanging out in London making this crazy movie.
Yeah. Now, how long were you in London for when you filmed that?
Gosh, it's probably about 10 weeks of shooting. In February, March, and parts of April in 1981. Cold time in winter.
Cold time in winter, with heavy running
around, in the woods, and in the zoo and other places.
I always wondered about the zoo shot. Was that you got your permits and all that stuff back then?
Well, you would get a certain length of time to shoot, but then I remember saying to the guys, going, "Hey, why do we have all these extras over there?" And they go, "Well, those aren't extras. The zoo's open." So we had stayed our welcome, but we still had scenes to shoot. So there I was, amidst the patrons.
Yeah,
at Regent's Park Zoo.
Yeah. Outside of American Werewolf London, what has been your favorite part? What's your favorite?
Well, the Dr. Pepper stuff was really great. We traveled all over the U.S. shooting these commercials, casting locally. Those were really quite fun, and musical spots. I enjoyed that. This was fun, American Werewolf, with the exception of once we got into the makeup.
Yeah,
that became a bit of an ordeal. But I've had a fun, interesting career. I'm happy to be still promoting, Werewolf and DVDs as they come out, and new versions, and new posters, and fans have been very appreciative.
Now, I know this is bad. I've said this. Did you think that you're going to be sitting here like, man, I'm going to be signing autographs?
40 years, I'll see you in Hampton, Virginia.
See you for another 40 years. I'll be like, yep, I'll be putting American Werewolf London. Well, you were getting a crowd again,
yeah,
sir.
That's it.
Thank you so very much for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I get you to say, watch Group Therapy TV?
Yeah. What is it?
Group Therapy TV.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, this is David Naughton. I hope you're watching Group Therapy TV.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Did you hear that? What was it?
A coyote.
There aren't any coyotes in England.
What happened to them?
Well, the police report said they were attacked by an escaped lunatic. Must have been a very powerful man.
Jack and I were not attacked by a man.
It's an animal. A wolf. Did he say a wolf?
Yes, I believe he did.
Did you get a good look at the man who attacked you?
Doctor, my memory is fine. It's my sanity I'm beginning to worry about.
You've never had bad dreams before?
Well, sure, as a kid, but never so real, never so weird.
I'm going to look into your eyes.
My friend Jack was just here.
Your dead friend, Jack.
Hi, David. He told me that I will become a monster in 2 days.
The supernatural, the power of darkness, it's all true. Please believe me.
Believe what? That tomorrow night, beneath the full moon, I'll sprout hair and fangs and eat people?
You'd be surprised what horrors a man is capable of.
Are you all right now?
I don't know. I'll let you know the next full moon. I'm a werewolf.
You're gonna change. You'll kill people. You'll become...
I know. A monster.
David, don't lose control!
Control? What control?
David, I can help you.
No, I'm not safe to be with. You gotta stay away from me. Run!
Everybody dies in it.